Hello everyone, this is Shadow Ryan continuing artifacts testing on the test server. So just to recap, we have the artifact from the introductory mission from the last video. And so far at the start, it grants like some static bonuses to health and dominance since this is a tank artifact. So those you can see will immediately go into the stats. So the health is 38,595 with it. And if I take it off, 37,799. But most of this goes into effect during raids, where if I use a pull power, it grants 7 group members a health bonus equal to 11.5% of my dominance. And this was the menu for powering up the artifact. So the part I don't understand though is the catalysts. They don't really go into explaining how we get those. The nth metal stuff drops in various amounts from all over the place. And from the forums it seems like the catalysts drop in certain instances. But if I bring up on duty, I don't see anything that's like marked differently, anything that's highlighted. So I'm not sure what triggers it. No, unless it's triggered like when you reach a certain rank. I mean, that could be it. So I think first, let me just run something. Well, all the solos are out of relevancy actually, like even this one. So let's do a quick one. So this one has like a handful of ads, and then there's 3 bosses that actually count as one boss fight. So we'll just see what we get out of that. And then I'll also recheck with Constantine in the watchtower, so maybe there's something he's selling. Something's wrong with the health and power. You saw that I started with almost 0. And that's been happening as I'm zoning.
I'm not interested in an extended stay on Quad, so let's get the show on the road.
Show some respect, Jordan. I carry the spark of the entity Parallax within me, the first being to experience fear in this universe. I must transfer it to the central power battery before it is snuffed out completely.
Just don't make me regret this alliance, Sinestro. I've got my eyes on you.
Red lanterns on Quad. Destroy them. I must complete this task.
Wow, that was a lot of nth metal.
Give in to fear. You dare step foot on Quad.
Destroy Sinestro! We will bring his head to Atrocitus!
So there's raw nth metal, and I already had processed extracted. So that looks like 5 types of nth metal already.
We need to get in there, fast!
That spark! Forget Sinestro! Get the spark! We will take it.
See, I really wish crafting materials, like the untradeable ones, were on a menu like this,
Sinestro to lose the spark. If they get away with it, we'll all
where there's
be
just a
big
counter
trouble.
like the currency. That way it doesn't take up inventory space.
I'll make sure Bleeze and her buddies don't go anywhere.
About time. did my ring fail me now? Something must have happened.
I can't hold them forever. When you're ready to take one down, let me know and I'll lower the shield. Just be ready for a fight.
My ring is failing against them. Make yourself useful and take down Bleeze and her dogs. I will do what I can.
Now, I wonder if nth metal drops are kind of like the lockbox and capsules, where, like, after a certain amount of time, you just get a drop from a kill. Because that's what it looked like. The first ads I killed dropped something, and then after that, nothing. Because I did a bunch of non-combat just before shooting this video. Like, I was just updating my generator, and did some stuff in the League Hall. So I was probably on for a good 10-15 minutes before actually killing anything. So maybe it's a 20-minute thing, like the capsule. And we'll see what happens with this boss fight.
You cannot withstand the terror.
This is gonna hurt you more than it hurts me.
We must act now. I will be the conduit and transfer the spark of Parallax to the battery. It is complete. Parallax will be reconstituted inside the battery. However, something feels...
Okay, so nothing additionally comes from the boss fight.
Get no argument from me. And while I can't say I'm thrilled to see Parallax again, it was necessary to keep the emotional spectrum in balance.
So I'm just thinking it's a timer, like the capsules in lockboxes. And I actually forgot why I was in the League Hall. Because I'm supposed to dump some of this inventory. Okay, so I did a bunch of cleaning up and the inventory looks much better. So let's head out and have another look at Constantine.
Bollocks. Do I look like your mum? What are you going on about?
Okay, so we have the raw artifacts. We have the various drops, and that's it. Okay, there's some artifact helpers here. Artifact XP, artifact catalyst, and seals. Okay, don't need the rest of this stuff. Nothing new in here. Nothing new with this vendor. Oh, I wonder if we get quarks. Nope. Alright, let's see what's inside these boxes. Alright. Artifact XP. I think, is that what these are? Okay. Alright, so Artifact XP is these things. I wish they would just call it like nth metal or something. That way the naming is consistent. Catalysts and seals. Wow, that is a lot of stuff. And they give you a location for this too. Alright, so let's see, we've got Area 51, League of Assassins, Subconstruct Shadowlands. But how do you know to go here? And that's a lot too. Gates. First piece. So they're all multiplayer. It's duos, alerts, and raids. And this is what happens when you're out in the public. Should I be blocking group invites? Okay, wait, let's go to the on-duty menu again. So, Area 51 is one of them. Oh, okay, it does say Catalyst. So if you really wanted to farm these things, you would run all of them daily. Wow. So that gives us a lot to do. But what's the difference in all of these now? Oh, okay, so this is what tells you, the menu actually tells you what to do. So in order to build this specific one, I have to keep running League of Assassins and Brainiac Subconstruct. It says I have 0. How do I use them now? Do I just power this up? Yeah, the catalysts don't show up here. Or do I press it here? Nope. What if I select? This artifact's rank will increase. Okay, there's a fortify option that I'm supposed to do. Okay, I'm having problems with the controller. That's what it is. So what I'm trying to do is break through, and I'm trying to figure out how to get that with the controller. So if I move the mouse, it shows up. Oh, okay, it's just the one button. Oh, and then the required catalysts change. Shadowlands, Trigon's Prison, Gates of Tartarus. And then you have the option of throwing in a seal. Because if you hit breakthrough, there's a chance it could fail. So I guess the seal just prevents you from losing catalysts. Okay, so that one failed. And then I guess you just keep trying. Okay, so all of this would just happen over like a very long period of time, because you have to collect like a whole bunch of these nth metal things just to power this up. And then on the side you also need to be collecting these. So you have to keep going to the artifacts menu to see which instances you should be playing. And I think you only need whatever that lower number is, because the higher number is just telling me what I have, I think. So the chance of failure increases, I think, as you're making your item higher level. So like what I just did would probably take weeks or months, depending on your play style, I guess. Because I'm certainly not going to play all those old instances all the time. So I think getting the nth metal isn't really that tedious. Like, that's just going to be something that happens behind the scenes as you play regular content. But the catalysts are extra work. Depending on which ones you get. Because, I mean, the duos are going to be quick. But, like, forming the alerts and raids could be a bit more difficult. And I actually haven't played a lot of the older content since the stats revamp, but they aren't quite like face rolling as before. I know they made adjustments, but I'm not sure how efficient they will be. Because all right, if we look at all the ones here, we can assume Area 51 is going to be pretty easy. On the test server with the stats revamp before the adjustment, I did run the Watchtower containment, and it was like barely doable at think it was tier 4 that I last tried it. So Area 51 should be comparable to that, but they made an adjustment so it should be easier than what you saw on test server. League of Assassins Stronghold, that should still be okay. Brainiac Subconstruct, I'm not sure how the raids are scaled, but that used to be one of the easier old raids. Shadowlands is just a duo, so that's not a problem. Like that one's going to be easy to farm even on a daily basis. And it is probably the shortest of the T4 duos. Trigon's Prison is still not bad. Like I've actually used my 2 accounts to get through this. So Trigon's Prison is very doable. Gates I think got harder, but they're still a walk-in, so you don't have to form a full group of 8 for that. And Spark of Ion is still pretty easy. Zamron Conversion Chamber, I haven't run that one a lot. It falls into that category of Lantern and Halls of Power that I really didn't play that much. So I don't have too much experience with how easy or hard that one is. Artifacts from the past, yep, same category. Not too familiar with it. The first piece is still pretty easy. Phantom Zone, I don't think I played that after the revamp yet. But Phantom Zone, it's tedious but not too hard unless you're doing a feat run. The feat runs are pretty challenging. And Blackest Day is probably the toughest one in this bunch. But the raids will still have the weekly lock on them. So we won't have to worry about the raids on a daily basis. But the others, it's like if you have extra time, then just run one of them or whatever. Okay, but that's pretty much how it goes. You're gonna get the nth medal, like just doing stuff normally. No extra work to do there. And it seems to be on a timer, but could be wrong. Actually, let's go ahead and test that really quickly now, since I probably spent a few minutes just walking around. So we'll just go take out an ad here. Or whichever one of these pops first. I'm just selecting some short solos. Yeah, it's definitely a timer.
First you, then the city.
Because we just got a whole bunch right there. So I think we can probably estimate that by the number of capsules you get. So I'm thinking that's a 20-minute thing. So pretty much every time you get a capsule, you're going to get like a whole random bunch of nth metal. So you should get like 3 packets of that every hour, if you want to estimate like how many hours you put into DCUO. And it would of course be a separate counter for each character. But yeah, this is probably not even final. Like, this is still test server, so we don't know if that's going to be the actual time. But That's what it feels like right now. It's on some kind of timer, probably closer to the capsules. It's definitely not the lockbox timer, which is the 5-ish to 6 hours timer. It won't be like that. And then the catalyst, you just follow like whatever is in your artifacts menu. The funny thing about this though is if the roles vary differently as far as instances, like let's say a whole bunch of tanks are building the tank artifact and then they get the same instance, are we going to be running the alert with 4 tanks? But I'm not sure if that's the case. We'll have to see this go into the wild, I guess. No, I'm sure they wouldn't do that. That would be kind of weird. But I think that this video should give you an idea of the pace at which you'll get these 2 types of drops. And I'm talking about the nth metal and the catalysts. The 2 things that you need to build up your artifact. And before we sign off, let's take a look at how powered up this is. So now it's up to 1,220 health, and now there's precision in there. 76 precision, 101 dominance, 3% health, 1% dominance, 1% precision. And a pull still, the group thing is still the same, 11.5%. So as you power it up, like the individual stats go much higher. Okay, I think that should be pretty much it for artifacts. I'm not sure if there's anything to test beyond that. But I guess, yeah, if you're watching this, let me know what you think. Do you think the pace is fair? Is it too slow? Too fast? Okay, that's it from here. Thanks for watching.